Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Utsutsuki. I will start some system tutorial videos for Godot because, as I said in the other video, I think it's more variable to learn how to make systems rather how to make specific games. And I will start with a short playlist for tower defense. So I will explain the basic idea behind the gaming part, alright? And so the first video will be just I explaining the algorithm, the logic behind it. So if you want to understand why I took certain decisions, I will explain this video. But if you want the practical part, go to the next one. I will base this idea mostly in, I think, one of the most remarkable tower defense game nowadays, that is Bloons TD6. Tower defense was my favorite genre of game for a while, and I think Bloons is a very good example to follow. So here is my abstraction for the system. So we'll need a spawn point that where the enemies will be instantiated. We'll have a base that is the goal of the game. We have a path where the enemies will use from the spawn point to the base. The buildable areas where we are able or not to place a tower. The resource on Bloons TD6, it's the that monkey coin, but I think there is another game, I think Rush Kingdom, that is other thing. I think it's a crystal, I don't remember. And some others are like common resources such as stones, wood, metal. So it's up to you which one you wanna go with. About the tower placement, the areas in this case, some games such as the Kingdom Rush, I think it's the correct title of the game. You have specific areas where to place the towers, like it's a pre-built, let me put it this way. But on Bloons TD6, you are way more flexible where you want to place the tower. Maybe only at the end of the screen, for example. But since it's a global monkey, for example, it's totally okay. So depends the game design for this part will mostly depend on the what type of game you want to make. So the enemies that it will where you will have the resource extraction, where the damage, the main threat or obstacle of the game. We have the towers that will be used to defend, and the power-ups is a bit more like optional. Some games have, some don't. For example, in the Bloons TD6 is a very different type of power-ups, and some others is just spawn a certain hero. So as well, it's a game design choice. So what is the approach for Godot? Well, I thought about a spawner that will have a dictionary. This dictionary will have keys of the current wave, and it can be either an array, it can be just other dictionary with the amount of enemies and what and which enemy should spawn, or if we spawn different type of enemies and in a certain order, we can use an array of dictionaries. All right, for example, in the Bloons TD6, I'm pretty sure, all right, the order does not change. So the wave 1 will have a certain setup of the balloons, the wave 2 and so on. So I think even the special events with like different maps have fixed spawning in order, right? A wave counter. And you can either have the node timer or have a custom timer that I usually goes with. I rather have a timer because it can, for example, have different effects in it that I think it's a bit more free, right? But it's up to you. Okay, the enemy will have a speed, a damage. It can, it might have different levels of the enemy. Certain games, for example, when you're destroying the first version of the enemy, a weaker version appears or a stronger one. In the booms, usually when you like pop a stronger, weaker appears. For example, I think the blue is the second. I think when you pop comes the red or something like this. I don't remember, to be honest. And we have the reward, or what resource we will get from these enemy. Depending the game you want to build, the enemy might need a state machine. All right. Usually, you wouldn't need. All right. For the base, you can just have an area of like an area to detect if the enemy reached there, and in an HP. All right. The path, there is several ways to make an enemy comes from certain point and reach another point. You might want use a navigation agent, just a point chase where you set the global position, or the node itself and the other node to chase it. But I think the one that works most is the path and path follow to deep. That is the one that I will use. But the path as well might have a way to block you build things in it, right? The resource can be just a counter, like a wood counter, stone counter, if it's going just a gold counter, that we will use to detect if the player have the amount of resource to do something. We'll have the towers that will have a place where we are able to build on, a cost to build, if you can sell it, which price to sell it, the damage it will deal, the attack speed, the range. Some are global, some are not. Order in Boost to the 6, you are able to change the attack order, so you can attack the first enemy that entered the area, the last one, the closest to the tower, and the strongest one. So it's up to you. You want to add this upgrades as well. Usually, in most part of the tower defense, you are able to upgrade your tower, and effects, some like slow, freeze, and whatever, burning type of effects being targeted or not. We'll have the power ups are just buttons that you can either like touch once and touch where it will affect, or just touch it, whatever it's the case. And the research as well. So this is the case. I'm not sure if you need state machines for every single part of it. I don't think so. But I think maybe for this spawner it's a good idea to have a state machine. So that is it. In the next video I will just try to make it in the Godot. Right, so thanks for watching and see you in the next video.